overseas brand, they will be looking for the easiest way to try their product or service or to introduce their brand in China without really spending tons of money. They think that introducing brands in China or bringing your brand in China is going to be costly and it needs like a lot of advertisement, and actually it's the opposite. It means you can open your platforms, you can open your brand in Redbook, WeChat, and you publish videos and pictures about your brand, about your hotel, for example, about your restaurant. And you don't know, maybe the Chinese customers will really like that place, especially if they like to travel there. You are trying something that is under $100, for example, to open an account, and maybe will bring you millions in the future, you know? So I think this is the number one thing that brand they don't know about. It's not expensive to show your brand in China.
For the overseas brand to come to China on social media, the first step they need to do is they need to know where are the platforms that they should be, because social medias are a lot, and every day probably one tech company is coming out with one social media platform, but you don't need to be on all of them, as some of them might cost you some budget. So you need to identify what are the platforms you need to be. If one of your purposes is to introduce your brand to the massive audience, I would suggest first is WeChat. For many people who don't know, like WeChat is kind of equivalent to website overseas. As in China, we don't have the habit to use website. Like WeChat took over everything. In WeChat, we have one function called WeChat official account. That means if your brand has a WeChat official account, when I go inside, I can find all the information I need to know about your brand. That's one of the apps that you need to be with if you want to really introduce your brand fully, like your Chinese website. And second platform is Rednote. Rednote has been on the market for more than 10 years. It has grown to one of the most popular platforms among all the young audience. And when I mention a young audience, means 20 years above, 40 years below. And there is a major consumer category. And so if you want your brand to be interacted with your main customers, you have to be on Rednote. And the third is, if your hotel brand or a product brand that you want to sell, you need to be also in the equivalent platform to drive sales. Because you have your brand identity part of the platform, you also need to have certain sales to maintain your brand existence. Like if you're a hotel brand, you have to be on the traveling related platform. Like in overseas is TripAdvisor and other platforms, but in China we have quite a few mainstream traveling platforms like Ctrip, like 去哪旅行, like 马蜂窝, all this platform you have to be inside to get your sales driven. So this is the overall, you need to know where are the platform you need to be and your overseas brand.
Campaign marketing, because we have different festivals like Chinese New Year, Chinese Valentine's Day, which is unique for us. So I think it's also important to personalize this kind of campaigns of your brands, especially that you could pay a bit attention to what Chinese people's public holidays, the period which you can do something for this festival campaign, especially during this period to attract Chinese travelers to restaurants or hotels.
And what are the Chinese holidays, festivals, where Chinese travel overseas? What are all of them? All the festivals they travel, or there is specific?
Yeah, I would say the first one is at the very beginning of the year, which is January, February, Chinese New Year. But in this festival, it really depends. Like most of Chinese will stay with their family for reunion,
right.
But still there's a part of them will choose to travel abroad because it's one of the few longer public holidays in China. One of the three. The second one is which happened in May, the beginning of May. We have 7 days, which we call Labor Day, and this I think it's also an important period for you because a lot of Chinese will choose travel destinations and it's nice weather globally. And the third one is in October, which is our national day. I think it's also worth some attention in social media related to campaigns. And another small hints just pop up in my mind is the payment terms. I would highly recommend insert some payment methods if you are in China's social media, like Alipay, WeChat Pay, which can be easier tools for you to, if you wanna convert your social media marketing KPI goals convert into sales, ROI, etc.
So you mentioned that we have a couple of Chinese local travel websites like Ctrip, Xiechen, Xunar, Fengwo, and I totally agree with what Wendy said about the payment methods. Brands can always sell bookings, but they also need to be present on the social platforms that we're used to. So apart from being on those platforms, they need to have enough payment methods so that we're actually willing to go there and pay. And I definitely think social media platforms are a key thing to do because when brands know their positioning and know what they want to do, like attracting Chinese customers who are looking to make friends in a foreign country, they need to show a lifestyle on social media platforms like TikTok, Rednote, because this is where we usually seek information which are user generated. And feel like for higher end brands, they also need to be on those platforms to show their brand image, like elegance, leisure holidays. Yeah, feel like those are very good platforms. And WeChat official account is definitely a good way to do branding because this is where you post all your services and lifestyle and articles about all the updates regarding to the festivals. Definitely great.